And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. The Georgia Southern Eagles escaped with a 30-25 victory over FCS opponent Gardner-Webb in their season opener this past weekend. The Eagles were playing without projected starter Justin Tomlin and had to flip in and out with true freshman Cam Ransom and then Amari Jones, who hasn't played quarterback since high school, who transferred from Tulane, was expected to be a slot receiver and running back for the Eagles, was thrust into the starting role. Neither quarterback did too poorly, but the Eagles were unable to capitalize on a couple of red zone opportunities in which they had to get field goals instead of touchdowns. The defense got burned a few times with the long ball against Gardner-Webb. The running Bulldogs passing for over 300 yards and having over 400 yards of total offense. The Eagles had over 500 yards of total offense, but afterwards, Coach Lunsford and the players less than satisfied with the victory, thinking that they should have done a lot better. And this week, things get even tougher as they'll be heading down to Boca Raton to take on Florida Atlantic. Last year, the Eagles knocked off the Owls by a score of 20-3 behind some stifling defense and 4 turnovers that they were able to create. The offense struggled a bit in that game. Defense bailed them out. This time around, Coach Lunsford and the players ready to be focused for their road trip and know they're going to have a lot tougher time with Florida Atlantic than they did Gardner-Webb. We had a chance to talk with the coach and the players. We'll hear from them in just a moment. As for area high school football, the Statesboro Blue Devils lost with 37 seconds left in the game as Swainsboro scored the go-ahead touchdown to win that game by a final of 15-10. Statesboro drops to 1-1 on the season. This week, they'll be back in action as they travel to Houston County. As for the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, they're coming off another 24-0 victory, this time against Telfair County. This week, they'll be on the road at Screven County in a game that was scheduled to be their season opener. As for the Bulloch Academy Gators, coming off a loss on the road to Tift area, they are now 0-3. They have a bye week before getting back to action next week against John Millage, and the Portal Panthers lost this past weekend, and they'll be hitting the road for Truitland County this week. We'll have previews and a lot more coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com. McCook's Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCook's Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCook's Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCook's Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles less than satisfied with their 30-25 victory this past Saturday against Gardner-Webb at home in their season opener. This week, the Eagles going down to Florida Atlantic to take on the Owls. Last year, they beat them 20-3. Coach Lunsford and the players less than satisfied with their game this past Saturday and hoping to clear some things up as they prepare for their road trip to Florida Atlantic.
Offensive side, just especially like with the offensive line, I felt like we had a pretty good game, but it's still a lot of improvements that we need. Sometimes we're like blocking and getting the reads on the linebackers and stuff like that. I think we had like 3 opportunities where we just, didn't score the ball. That was a big frustrating thing for the offensive line. We understand that when we get down there in the red zone, it's an expectation for us to score. Going out there and trying to dominate and actually, just putting in the work. Watching extra film and going out there on the practice field and putting in the work throughout the week. So when it comes to game time, we'll be ready to go.
What do you know about Florida Atlantic? What do you expect?
That they're odd front. They switch from, 4 down to odd front from time to time. And, obviously they're going to be a much better talent than what we just faced. So we definitely got to get ready this week for it.
From the coaches to the players, no one's really happy about, our playing and how, everything went. But I would say the biggest improvement that we can do as a team is just communication. That's one thing we struggled with last Saturday. And if you look at it, the grand scheme of things, it may look like we played really bad. But you take 10 plays away, we played really well as a defense. So sometimes it's so easy to look at the negative parts, but we really did some good things as a unit. So sometimes when the score is 25 to 30, you kind of overlook all those things that happen. So obviously there's a lot of things we need to work on, but I'm glad it happened this game and not the next game. From watching film, all I've been hearing about is our quarterback. They got transferred from Miami, but we played them last year. Obviously, we had COVID last year, so they're obviously a better team. That's what they're saying. But I feel pretty confident in our guys. I feel like we're gonna go out there and do our thing and just make sure we do it all draw 111, and we're gonna be all right.
When we left the field, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the second half. I was disappointed in just how we finished the game. But after watching the tape, there's always going to be some good things. There's always going to be some bad things. Still disappointed about how we ended the second half, or how we played in the second half. The big piece when you start talking about giving up 3 deep balls, two that went for touchdowns, and the other one set up a touchdown. If we're able to eliminate 1, 2, all 3 of those, it's a different ball game. And so unfortunately we didn't. So that was a negative part. The not finishing drives in the second half, I think, is the other thing that we really have to critically look at, self-reflect, make sure our players are up to speed on exactly what we're expecting out of them, because we did a good job of finishing the first half and getting that field goal and going into halftime with a 20-6 lead. And then we come out and we get the ball first in the second half, and we go right down the field. We get in a 4th and 5 situation, and felt like we could get it, and thought we had a pretty good play call. And Cam did a good job of getting outside, getting to the first down marker, but then he lost the ball, fumbled it out of bounds. And I think at that point some momentum kind of changed, and we've got to be better about grabbing that momentum back. I think after looking back on it a little bit, is just us being better in those types of situations. We talk all the time about trying to score first in the game, try to do a great job in the middle 8 part, and then finish a ball game. We scored first. We did a great job in the middle 8. We just didn't finish the ball game the way we should have. And so, again, we'll put a lot of emphasis on that and continue to try to get better, because we do got to put people away. It was a good first half. I wouldn't say a great first half, but it was a good first half. And if we could have just went and duplicated the first half in the second half, I think we'd have felt a lot better about the game. We didn't do that, and great job of keeping the ball on offense and not turning it over, but we didn't get any takeaways on defense, and that's been a recipe for us to win as well. And we do emphasize takeaways. We just got to do a better job of trying to get our strip attempts and get that ball punched out and get us some interceptions. Well, I want to put the complete game together. I do. We can't just start good and get ourselves in position. We've got to make sure that we start good, get ourselves in position, and then finish it off. And that's been the emphasis all offseason, so we will not quit talking about that. It's about the complete game for us. We got a different test this week. No disrespect to Gardner Webb. They did a good job. They came in here and played hard, took us to the wire. Great job by their coaching staff and players. But we're going to play an even more talented football team this week in Florida Atlantic. A lot of team speed, a lot of physical players, and so it's going to take a complete game. But we got to get in the mindset of we're gonna keep punching until we knock somebody out, and we're not going to quit punching.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll check in on our area high schools. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests, and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, we believe in furnishing those just right moments that fill our lives and our homes. Save on your just right at Badcock's Labor Day sale. Get up to 50% off throughout the store. And a free 60-inch TV or adjustable base with select mattress purchase. Plus, apply, finance, and save in-store and online with no credit refused. So shop what's just right for you at your local Badcock. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils licking their wounds from last week. A very good defensive stand, but a couple of costly turnovers for the Blue Devils that the Swainsboro Tigers were able to turn into touchdowns. The last one being the nail in the coffin as they scored with 37 seconds left to win 15-10. This week, things don't get any easier. The Blue Devils up to the Warner Robins area as they set to take on Houston County. We had a chance to talk to Coach and a few of the players about the matchup.
I mean, we bounced back good today. The offense and defense, we both got after it today, and it was a pretty good day on boards and triangles for the offensive line and defensive line. We worked hard today. The offensive line, we need to learn how to get low and get on our blocks better, and the receivers need to just catch the ball, grab the ball, and we need to learn how to control the football and not fumble as much as we did. We're going to have a great week of practice this week, and we're going to go up to Houston County and show them what we're made of.
What do you know about them? What do you expect from a team like that?
I mean, I know that their defensive linemen, they're big up front in the middle. They got their nose guard is 6'2", 350, and their tackles about 6 foot, 300, and we're just gonna have to get low, get under, and push them off the ball so our running backs can do.
I think that we're gonna respond pretty well. That we did get a tough loss, but practice has been doing good so far, so I think we're going to do pretty fine against Houston County. Our corners, safeties, and linebackers have been doing just fine. We did outstanding against Swainsboro. Offense needs to get there, and like Mathis said, we need to block and get there where we need to have less turnovers, and defense needs to do what they keep doing. I don't know much about them, but like Mathis said, they have good linemen, pretty big. They have about a pretty decent sized running back, 225, 220. Hopefully it's a good game.
Do you know anything about Houston County? What do you expect? It's a big program.
We can get better all over the field, but we're very proud of our kids' effort Friday. It was kind of strange how it played out. The bottom line, we lost the game because we put the ball on the ground twice. Both of those turnovers led to points for them. The second one was really disheartening. We're trying to manage the game on the back end. We needed one first down. We felt like we could run the clock out and win the game. And unfortunately, we turned the ball over, and that's a no-no. We say it every time that the only stat that really matters is a win and a loss, but the second most important one is the turnover ratio. And we were -2 in that area. We turned it over, they didn't, and that was the difference in the game. You don't see it watching it from the stands, but our offensive line is playing pretty well. We did some good things with our backs. We have got to execute throwing and catching when we did, because when teams see you drop the ball, they can load the box to stop what you are really good at. And I think we had 3 key drops. We need to execute there to get some people off our back so we can execute in the run game. Put it behind us as soon as we watched the film this morning. Came out and had a good Labor Day practice. Everybody's spirits are up. I think our kids are starting to mature enough to know that it's one at a time, put it behind you and move on. Facing a very good opponent this week in Houston County, a massive football team size-wise, and like I tell our kids, we aren't like a lot of places where every week we strap it up, it's against a quality opponent. Big up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They are a strong inside zone team running the ball. They have a ninth grader at quarterback who has 5-star potential as he progresses. Good solid football team. The special teams are just the thing you notice when you turn on the tape is their size everywhere. OL, DL, running back go 225, defensive line, the interior averages 320, just a massive kids.
And that game's scheduled to get underway at 7:30 at Houston County. Stay with us. Southeast Bulloch's preview coming up next. The Southeast Bulloch Coaches Show segment is brought to you in part thanks to Southeast Tire and Service. Southeast Tire and Service has been in business for 13 years, offering extensive vehicle repair and service from bumper to bumper. Come have a cup of coffee with us and let us help you with your car needs. Located at 400 Parker Avenue in Brooklyn. With operations across North America and customers all around the globe, Interfor is one of the world's largest lumber providers. Interfor serves the needs of customers, strengthens local economies, and builds value for its employees and shareholders. Interfor is where excellence meets opportunity. In the past decade, Interfor has invested $1.3 billion into modern facilities and systems that employ the latest technologies. Interfor, excellence grows here. Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets continue to roll right along. Their second straight 24-0 victory came this past Friday at Fred Shaver Field as they shut out Telfair. This week, the Yellow Jackets are going to be on the road for the first time this year as they hit the road for Sylvania to take on Screven County. That game was supposed to be the season opener for both teams. Unfortunately, the Gamecocks had some issues at Screven County High School that caused them to shut things down for a while. Now they're back. They played last week. This week, the Yellow Jackets know they're going to have a tall task ahead. We had a chance to talk with Coach Jared Zito and some of the players about the matchup.
A lot of progress defensively. I thought we made another step in the right direction. Really, we obviously didn't get scored on. Still had a few mistakes, but played a lot more. I saw a lot more hats to football. We ran to the ball better, and special teams were better. We didn't have any personnel issues or issues like that. There's still some things we want to clean up, but that was good. Offensively, we made steps in the right direction. Still left. Feel like we still left some points on the board just from execution. And then Christian went down on the third play. Gage came in, had a kind of a rough start, but then threw a great touchdown pass to Tyler and kind of got us going. So we had lots of positives. I think we had 330 yards of offense. We scored 24 points. I felt like we probably left at least two more scores out there somewhere. But I continue to see our guys buy into what we're doing. And again, each week we try to get a little bit better, and I think we did. We don't gamble a lot on defense. Coach will take, he'll take his moments to bring some extra pressure. But we are read your key, play good, technical, sound football. We're doing a good job of understanding where our fits are in the second and third levels. And again, as long as our eyes are in the right place and we play fast, I think we'll be in good shape. We talked about toward the end of the game, we got a little sloppy with some tackling. And sometimes it happens toward the end of the game, and you're winning. Guys, they don't bring the same intensity. But that was really the only thing we talked about was just tackling better toward the end of the game. Number one, I think they're a good, hard-nosed football team. They're sound. I think there's a little bit of a rivalry from what I understand. I know our kids are excited to play. This will be our first road trip. That'll be a new challenge for us, a different adversity. Learn how to go on the road and do all those things we got to do to get there, and then play in a different environment. That's certainly going to be a challenge. But look forward to another great non-region game. Just keep getting better. I think they're a good, really good football team. Solid. This will be a good test for us. I think fundamentally and schematically, they're probably the most sound team we've seen. I think they're big up front. They're going to kind of come downhill at you with a extra tight end in the game and try to play smash mouth football. Defensively, they're bringing some pressure at linebacker from some different gaps. So we got it's a little different defense. They've shown kind of a 3-4 and a 3-3. So we got to kind of be prepared for both of them. They like to bring a little more pressure out of that 3-3 look, and that's going to be a new look to us. I think the quarterback's a player. He's a gamer. I think they got a couple of defensive linemen that play on offense too. 52 and 40, those two are really good football players. We'll have to deal with those guys for sure.
Well, it's a new system, and I feel like we're adapting to it well. I don't think we're at our full potential right now, but it's coming along real nice, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We're playing as a unit. We've been playing with each other for a really long time, and it's all clicking. Just playing as a team. We didn't really have the whole team in it last year together on the defensive side of the ball, and now we're brothers now, and it's all working out.
I think we are doing pretty well. I think our defense has been top tier. We haven't let anyone score on us so far. I feel like we could work on a few more things on the D-line, like staying in our gaps and looking for our assignments and our keys. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty well. And the Scriven thing, we beat them last year, so I definitely think we can beat them again, especially even though we've gotten a lot better. I think they'll have a challenge going up against us this year. A lot of us are giving 100% effort, running to the ball. We're huddling, we're grouping around the ball, we're making sure it's not going nowhere. The D linemen are actually doing their job pretty well. We're getting back there, we're getting penetration, and we're forcing up 2 interceptions from pressure and I think that's pretty good.
And again, that game getting underway in Sylvania at 7:30. Stay with us. We'll talk to Bulloch Academy head coach Steve Pennington coming up next.
Ready for fall? Us too at RJ Pope. Get ready to cheer on your favorite team in a new performance polo from Peter Millar, Southern Tide and AFCO. Ladies, we have the best brands and trending fashions. Complete your look with one of our best-selling shoe brands, Soft, On Cloud, and Free People. Shop these brands and so much more at one of our 3 locations, RJ Pope Buckhead, Downtown, and Vidalia.
Well, the Bulloch Academy Gators lost a heartbreaker on the road at Tifteria, coming off 2 tough losses to Savannah Country Day and Calvary. They sit at 0-3, a bye week this week before getting back to action with another tall task as they have John Millage coming up in a couple weeks. We had a chance to talk with Bulloch Academy head coach Steve Pennington about how things have been going.
Obviously, there was a lot of disappointment Friday night down in Tifton, and rightfully so. Our players have really worked hard through the first 2 ball games against stout competition and very physical ball games, and we knew that Tift was still going to be a formidable opponent for us, especially with some of the players they had back, starting with their quarterback and on a long trip. So there's a lot of factors that kind of went into the game, but give credit to Tift area, their coaches, their players, had a sound game plan, played extremely hard, and played a very clean ball game. When it boils down to it, we as coaches we have to have our players prepared and ready to go, and our intensity level was not where it needed to be, but even with that said, we had opportunities to make some things happen, and I will say this, from a standpoint to where we were chasing them all night long. They got up on us, and we would score, and then they would answer the score, and then we'd have to come back. So the stress was on us a little bit throughout the game to make something happen, and we just didn't ever get the big break that we so needed during that ball game. But really going back over watching the film and analyzing that and evaluating our players and even evaluating us as coaches, we know that the opportunity is there, as you mentioned, well ahead of us. We're going to focus not on the past. We'll learn from it and seek ways to get better, but we're going to focus ahead because really everything still is in front of us. Well, if I can reflect back to last year, because it was the first year of the 2-year cycle that we had to play, being new coaching staff, new systems in, we knew that the schedule was really heavy laden the first 4 ball games, and we ended up going 2-2 in last year. And so I think that provided some confidence going into this year, but at the same time, Other teams, the 4 teams that's on the schedule, they have new coaches, new people, new players, and plus they also have proud traditions. And so regardless of what one year to the next, we knew we were going to have a tough task ahead in the early part of our season. But that didn't mean that we weren't going to fight and we wouldn't progress. And here's the deal. You play great competition like we are doing the first 4 ball games. If we maintain a positive spirit, understanding and giving credit where credit's due, if the other team is better than us on a Friday night, you give them credit, but yet knowing that we're playing high caliber competition, then in the end should and will strengthen us as we move forward. We have to focus not only on the opponent, but we focus on us. And it's all about us right now, where we are, where we can develop, and where we can go with our talent level, our spirit and our attitudes and our desire. And so that's where we are. And no, it wasn't a fear, but it certainly, we knew it was going to be a tall challenge to face. And we've got one more hurdle to go out of these first 4.
And that'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.